Hi, it's Cammy. Charlie talks football.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. Now, before we get into this video and all the latest Newcastle United transfer news, I just wanted to say, please can you make sure to follow my TikTok, Charlie Talks Football 1. I've posted quite a lot of stuff on there. I've got a new catchphrase, I love football. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? Do you want us to keep going with them posts or do you want us, to focus on other stuff? But I am still posting all the latest Newcastle United updates on there, so make sure to follow that. Make sure to also follow my Instagram. I'm also posting all the latest Newcastle things on there, so thank you guys for doing that. And anyway guys, let's get into the video now. Breaking news, Craig Hope has reported that Newcastle have gone back in for James Trafford. Now, as you know, Newcastle tried to get James Trafford, was it in January I think, or in the summer, when a £15 million bid rejected, and I thought the deal was going to happen, and it ended up not happening because of something to do with the payment structures, I think. But for me, this is very interesting, and it's quite strange actually, because of course Newcastle have actually got 6 goalkeepers, and Vlahomaikos wasn't actually on the bench or against Bournemouth, so that means that potentially he could be leaving on loan. Now, one thing I think that you guys don't know is that Eddie Howe did not actually want Vlahomaikos at the club. The only reason that we signed him was because Nottingham Forest needed to sell, and we also needed to sell our players due to the PSR rules, so that's the only reason why that happened. But what are your thoughts, guys? Get your comments down below, because of course I'm not saying Trafford's a bad goalkeeper. I think he is a decent goalkeeper. He's played for the England under-21s. He did very, very well there. But do Newcastle really need another goalkeeper? Because supposedly Newcastle do want to do this on a loan deal with a potential option to buy of 15 million. Would you be happy with this? I mean, I suppose it doesn't really go into in Newcastle's budget, which means we can prioritise getting a centre-back in or a winger. Now, so what are your thoughts on this information, guys? Will this James Trafford deal happen? I believe it probably will, since many reliable Newcastle sources have came out and suggested this. But I want to know your thoughts, because of course you've got the Mark Gay situation that's still been going on, and now it's been reported that Newcastle are potentially looking at James Trafford. So have Newcastle just forgotten about Gay, or are they just moving on to, another transfer target to try and maybe potentially scare Crystal Palace? So let us know your thoughts on that. In other news as well, Mark Gay to Newcastle United is expected to be concluded this week. Of course, this saga's been going on for so many times. I'm not going to talk too much about it, because I've told you guys so many times on my YouTube channel that I do believe that Mark Gay to Newcastle will still happen. I believe that the player will still join Newcastle. Now, on one of Fabrizio Romano's live streams, he said that Newcastle are still trying to do a deal for Mark Gay, and there's optimism from the club that a deal can be completed and get done by this week. So hopefully we'll have Mark Gay holding up a Newcastle shirt by this week. So yeah, guys, this saga, it's been going on for so long. What are your thoughts? Do we need to walk away? But we've finally potentially got some good information that Mark Gay could finally be joining Newcastle this week. Now, in other news, Newcastle played Bournemouth a few days ago. The score was 1-1. It was a very, very interesting game, let's say. What were your thoughts on that? And next, Newcastle playing Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. Sandro Tonali's ban has finally ended, so he will be able to play against Nottingham Forest. I don't think he will play. I think he'll be on the bench. Of course, then Newcastle have got Tottenham on Sunday. I think it is 1:30 kickoff. So Newcastle will definitely be trying to involve Tonali in these games. So what are your thoughts on that as well? Now, I just wanted to talk about wingers because, of course, it has been well documented that Newcastle are going to try and sign a right winger this transfer window. We've been linked with many. Madawiki from Chelsea, who just scored a hat-trick because Chelsea beat Wolves 6-2. He scored a hat-trick, so why would Chelsea sell him? So I don't think that's going to happen. Raheem Sterling we've also been linked with, but for me his wages are probably too much as well. So I want you guys to get your comments down below. Is there any wingers that you would recommend that Newcastle should potentially go in for? Because for me, there's not a lot of options out there. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the transfer market. Newcastle will be trying to sign players, but whether we are going to be successful, that is going to be what we're going to have to wait and see. But what are your thoughts on the transfer window? What would you guys rate the transfer window out of 10? Do you think it has been a poor transfer window? I've seen many Newcastle fans saying that it has been one of the worst windows for a long time. Many Newcastle fans are saying that when Mike Ashley was owner, even the transfer windows then have been better than this one. Which, look, I slightly disagree. I think that's been a bit harsh on Newcastle. What you've got to understand is the transfer market is a lot different now. There's a lot more, you know, stuff and thoughts that go into it. You know, if Newcastle go in for a player, it's there's a chance it could get hijacked by other clubs. So there's a lot of details and stuff going on to the transfer market that means it will be hard for Newcastle to sign players. I do believe, guys, that Newcastle will sign a centre-back and a right winger before the end of the transfer window. We haven't got long left. I think we've just got about a week or so, but I really hope Newcastle can start to accelerate on transfers because it's taken very, very long. Of course, the Premier League season has started as well, so we really need to get these transfers in. And I've also seen, guys, a lot of Newcastle fans on social media saying that they wouldn't want Gay anymore after watching the last few games that he's been playing in. For me, this is very harsh. I think that, of course, yes, Mark Gay in the last few games has been making quite a few mistakes for Crystal Palace, but I think that's just because of the pressure, to be honest, guys. I think Gay's under a bit of pressure when you've been talked about as a superstar talent by the chairman of the football club you're at, Steve Parish. I'm sure you're going to feel a little bit of the pressure. So I think Mark Gay is still a brilliant player. I think maybe he is a little bit overhyped. I don't think he's as good as he's potentially made out to be, but for me, I think Newcastle should still definitely go for him. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to follow my TikTok, Charlie Talks Football 1, and my Instagram, Charlie Talks Football. Fabian Shaw as well has also retired from international football. I've also posted that on there, so make sure to check out that to stay updated on all the latest Newcastle United news. Anyway, guys, make sure to subscribe. I wanted to say thank you guys for all the support recently. It's been fantastic, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.